Okay, so, this boss is really shit, and I wanted to explain why. So first of all, it has this really long, unskippable little cutscene. Second, these little bees, if I try to go in the air and approach them, then oftentimes the reticule will actually disappear for a bit. Or like if I try to turn back quickly after a jump like this, see, I'm going one way, I turn quickly after a jump, and I'm obviously facing toward the bees right after the jump. Here's me jumping toward the bees from a kind of perpendicular angle. It rapidly switches targets before there are no targets after like half a second. The way you perform homing attacks most easily in this game is actually by walking up to them and then jumping and then, yeah, like that. I try to jump toward them. You see, I did a little hop. Even though the reticule was up, it immediately went away after I jumped. Because it happened like a half second after I started the jump, which isn't as valid for some reason as a homing attack that starts on the ground. I sort of understand what they're trying to do with this because it rewards you for like keeping momentum into the homing attack, but they bounce you back anyway, so there's no point. Also, if you notice, this phase did not come about until I spent about an entire minute beating up the bees. Also, as you just saw, the bees suddenly change properties during that phase of the fight, so they can repeat a visual motif. They don't damage you until the second part of that phase where they kind of jump up. So there's some inconsistency in how they're signposting, like, how these mechanics work. Again, in this phase, in the beginning of the second phase, I need to kill these bees in order to bring about the second phase. Let's do that. Okay, not by doing... Okay, I seem to be... It's because I'm forgetting to walk up to them point blank and then mash as soon as I'm in the air. You can only button mash to homing attack everything on screen after you've walked up to them like an idiot. See, I'm moving through all these bees. I did not get harmed at all. My model was clipping through them. It's a little awkward. I have to wait for this thing to plunge. It takes way too long. It doesn't track you at a very tight speed. There we go. Now in this phase, it doesn't matter how many of these bees you defeat, the phase will just continue. So they kind of misinformed you about how the rest of this boss would work by suddenly changing the rules. Also, I keep forgetting to do something because it's second nature now, but it's something I had to learn. And that is that if you jump while he is descending, then you actually don't get the homing attack reticule, just like with the bees. So, there you go. I'm gonna jump as soon as he comes down. I did not get a homing attack reticule, for some reason. Let's do this again. Okay, he's defeating some bees, that's cool. Can't see where the fuck he is. There he is. There you go. Now I'm gonna jump as I see the camera pan toward me. I jumped, it did not give me the homing attack because the homing attack it targets easier when you're on the ground, which doesn't make much sense to me because it's an aerial goddamn move. And keep in mind, this is a boss that's entirely designed around the homing attack. So the fact that the homing attack mechanic is so unintuitive is kind of problematic. Also, huge gaps between using homing attacks in this boss fight in order to be cinematic, and I'm waving my controller around without pressing any buttons. And this little animation played. So the life bar lied. You know, there were only like 4 segments as opposed to 5, like it went down in fifths. The last part is this cutscene, and my input didn't matter at all. Sometimes this game, in order to increase your score, it has a little Leap Beat Agent style sort of circles that hone in on other circles, and you hit X when they overlap. There's no way to make them go faster. They suck, but at least they give you something to do during a long cutscene. This didn't allow me to do that, so that sucks. And that's why that's just one of the many reasons why Sonic Forces is bad. Tune in, I don't know, in a few hours when I think of some great way to illustrate how the rest of Sonic Forces is bad. Whoop-ha.